Onion Creek, the tributary, begins in the Blanco-Hayes County line area and snakes its way to the Colorado River in Austin. And along the way, water even flows into Barton Creek and then Barton Springs in Austin. But it is Dripping Springs where there is a battle passing south of town. The city has filed a state permit.
More than 300 people showed up to voice their opposition to the permit plan, pleading with stakeholders to consider another option. Community members say a lot of their concern comes down to a fear of the unknown, not realizing how dumping wastewater along and into Onion Creek could impact the water supply and quality for people in the area.
For many years, we have known that the impact of human waste on the environment can be severe. Only now are we beginning to have a strong debate over these negative impacts in our own community. Onion Creek is a body of water that runs through Dripping Springs and surrounding areas. Many people frequently hike along its banks, swim in its waters, and enjoy the beautiful wildlife it provides. But all of these benefits are now being threatened by human waste. The city of Dripping Springs has applied for a permit from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to discharge up to 995,000 gallons of treated sewage into Onion Creek each and every day. This waste disposal will not just change the creek itself. The effects of this discharge will be brought wherever this water travels. And since water is such a vital piece of life on Earth, these effects will echo throughout the community and beyond. The decision of the town is not being placed into action without opposition. Many people have not been afraid to voice their opinions, and several communities have shown great concern against releasing the wastewater. People such as Rich Beggs, who lives directly on the banks of Onion Creek, have attended meetings and spoken to news companies on the matter.
So, first got involved just as a person that's impacted directly in a neighborhood where the creek flows. And so, we realized it was upstream of where we were. But more importantly, I found out that the stretch of the creek that they're planning to put the wastewater in recharges the aquifer.
Onion Creek is directly connected to the Edwards Aquifer, one of the main sources of Dripping Springs water supply. This means that all of the treated wastewater would be going straight into water we drink. In fact, the biggest consumer of this water source is the school system of Dripping Springs. This means that thousands of students and teachers will be unnecessarily harmed. Those in favor of the plan insist the treatment of the water will be capable of extracting impurities, but one does not have to look far to see the underlying danger in drinking this water.
There has been a draft permit issued by the state, and it has no limit on nitrogen. Now, they think that's okay in a stream of water. What they have not contemplated is there's been science that's been released this last summer that if it does in fact recharge the aquifer, having too much nitrogen in drinking water is harmful to human health.
Diane Wasenich, who works at San Marcos River Foundation, has extensive knowledge on the importance of preservation of natural areas. She has held positions in numerous committees for habitat conservation and water usage, and says not only will contaminated creek water affect personal health, but that it will also affect businesses.
There have been incidents in the San Antonio area where restaurants that were out in the country had wells, and a lot of people got sick from that pollution that happened. So businesses could be affected. Anytime there's a pollution incident and people's water is not reliably safe, that affects many businesses of all kinds. For instance, there's a lot of bed and breakfasts and B&Bs of various kinds, event centers out in the country that take advantage of the beautiful nature and streams that we have in the hill country. If there were a pollution incident, that would be a problem for them.
Harmful to us and harmful to everything around us. Water quality changes the health of the entire ecosystem, influencing the earth in ways the everyday person knows nothing of until they begin seeing things change right in front of them. Tests have shown that even with treatment, the water going into the creek would still have 100 times more impurities that would cause significant degradation and severely disrupt the ecosystem. With hundreds of men and women attending meetings where over 80 speakers talk against polluting the creek, the town of Dripping Springs has begun to take notice. Thankfully, there is a relatively simple alternative plan.
If the wastewater is treated quite well to the level at which you can irrigate with it, then irrigating is a wonderful option, because not only lawns and athletic fields and golf courses need water, but also industries need water. And industries can use wastewater, treated wastewater, in their cooling towers, and it's actually better for their equipment than aquifer water, because aquifer water is very hard. It has a lot of minerals in it. And treated wastewater is the correct chemical composition to be used in cooling towers.
While this does not completely free us from the issue of pollution, it does help minimize its effects. And because human waste is inevitable, the best solution is to find a plan that helps reduce unnecessary dangers in the greatest way possible. The community of Dripping Springs is not against growth. Rather, it is for responsible and sustainable growth that will strengthen the community and protect all people, all wildlife, and the earth.